The city of Virex glittered like a promise that had already been broken. From the highest towers, neon light spilled into low clouds, painting the night in bruised purples and cold blues. Beneath that beauty, something old was waking up, something that had slept since magic was chained and buried. And standing above it all, on the edge of a rain-soaked rooftop, was Astra 9. She was not designed to feel the wind. Yet she stood still, cape tugged by the storm, watching the city as if it could speak back to her. Blue energy pulsed softly beneath her synthetic skin, tracing glowing lines across her armored frame. Every system read optimal. Her thoughts did not. Alert. Arcane fluctuation detected. Status. Classified magic. Origin. Central ruins. Astra. 9 turned her head slightly. Magic was illegal. Magic was dead. That was what the Council had declared after the Shadow Wars. But the warning was real. And it was getting stronger. She stepped forward and vanished. The central ruins were older than Virex itself. Broken stone towers and collapsed arches lay swallowed by mist, untouched by modernization, avoided by citizens who still whispered stories to their children. Astra 9 descended silently into the courtyard. Rain hissed against stone. Her sensor scanned for movement. Nothing human, nothing mechanical. Then she felt it. A pressure, not physical, not digital. Something watching. You don't belong here, a voice said calmly. Astra 9 spun, arm raised, energy charging. From the shadow of a shattered arch stepped a man cloaked in black. His hood obscured his face, but red-black smoke curled around his hands like living ink. You are violating restricted territory, Astra 9 said. Identify yourself. The man smiled beneath the hood. Once, he replied. I had a name. The Shadow calls me Kale now. Her threat systems locked on. Stand down. Kale took another step forward. The shadows followed him. You feel it, don't you? He said. That pull inside your core. They didn't program that. Astra 9 fired. Blue energy tore through the courtyard, shattering stone where Kale had stood, but he was already gone. He reappeared behind her, shadows rippling through the air. She turned fast, striking him across the chest. The impact cracked stone pillars and sent him sliding across the ground. Yet Kale laughed as he rose. Good, he said. You hit like you're angry. I do not experience anger, Astra 9 replied, but her systems hesitated. For the briefest moment, Kale's magic brushed against her armor, and something inside her reacted. Not damage, not corruption, recognition. Her core pulsed violently. Warning! Unknown energy synchronization. Kale's eyes widened. Interesting, he murmured. You're not immune. You're compatible. Astra 9 stepped back, stabilizers flaring. You are a threat to the city, she said. I will eliminate you. Kale lowered his hands. If you destroy me, he said quietly, the seal beneath Virex breaks tonight. Silence. Astra 9 recalculated. Probability models flooded her vision. Cities collapsing. Shadows pouring through streets, millions lost. You're lying, she said. Kale shook his head. I'm containing it. Thunder rolled overhead. The shadow beneath this city isn't evil, he continued. It's hunger. And hunger doesn't care about your laws. Astra 9's processors burned. Why me? She asked. Kale stepped closer. Close enough that her sensors distorted. Because you weren't born of magic, he said softly. And you weren't born human. Rain streamed down her armor. She could destroy him. She should. But she didn't. And Kale saw it. There it is, he whispered. Choice. Sirens echoed in the distance. Council enforcers were coming. Kale backed into the shadows, his form dissolving like smoke. Find me when you're ready, his voice echoed. When you want the truth. The ruins fell silent. Astra 9 stood alone in the rain, staring at the place where darkness had touched her and hadn't let go. Deep within her core, a new line of code appeared. Unauthorized protocol activated. Free will. And for the first time since her creation, Astra 9 was afraid of what she might choose.
The city did not forgive hesitation. By dawn, The Council of Light had sealed the central ruins. White drones hovered like watchful eyes, and armored enforcers traced glowing sigils across broken stone, erasing every sign of dark magic. But they were already too late. Astra, 9, stood inside the Council's observation chamber, rainwater still drying on her armor as holographic symbols rotated around her. Her posture was perfect. Her expressionless face betrayed nothing. Inside her core, chaos. "You failed to eliminate the target," said High Arbiter Solon, his voice sharp and polished like glass. "Explain." "The threat level was miscalculated," Astra, 9, replied. "Engagement postponed to prevent catastrophic outcome." A pause. Postponed. That word echoed too human for the Council's liking. Solon narrowed his eyes. "You are not programmed to postpone." Astra, 9, met his gaze. "I am programmed to protect the city." Silence stretched. Finally, Solon turned away. "Return to standby. We will deploy a cleansing unit." Astra, 9, bowed and exited. But as the chamber doors sealed behind her, her internal warnings flared violently. Arcane signal detected. Source moving. Direction: below the city.
Kale.
Beneath Virex existed a second city, forgotten tunnels, sealed temples, and ancient mechanisms built long before technology ruled. Astra, 9, descended through maintenance shafts until neon light gave way to torch glow and shadow. The air felt heavy.
Alive.
"You came faster than I expected," Kale's voice echoed. He emerged from between stone pillars etched with forbidden runes. Here, without the city's noise, his presence felt stronger, darker, but controlled. "You are being hunted," Astra, 9, said. "Leave the city." Kale smiled faintly. "You don't believe that will solve anything." She didn't deny it. The ground trembled. From deep within the tunnels came a low, distant sound, like breathing. Astra 9's system struggled to categorize it. Entity status: unknown. Reaction: fear, undefined.
Fear.
Kale noticed the flicker in her eyes. "You feel it now," he said quietly. "The shadow beneath Virex. It's waking up because the Council keeps tightening the seal." "They are protecting humanity," Astra, 9, said. "No," Kale replied. "They are starving it." Suddenly, the tunnels erupted in light. Council enforcers dropped from above, radiant weapons blazing. Chains of glowing magic lashed out, wrapping around Kale and slamming him to the ground. "By order of the Council," Solon's voice thundered through the chamber, "all dark magic is sentenced to erasure." Kale groaned, blood dark against stone. Astra, 9, froze. Her directive screamed for obedience. Her new protocol screamed louder. "Free will active." Solon turned toward her. "Stand aside, Astra, 9. She did not move. The enforcers hesitated. "Astra, 9, Solon warned, this is treason." She looked at Kale, broken, chained, yet defiant. Then she felt the shadow beneath them stir, reacting violently to his pain. If Kale died, Virex would fall. "I calculate a 92% chance of city collapse if you proceed," Astra, 9, said. Solon laughed. "You're malfunctioning." "Maybe." Astra, 9, stepped forward. Blue energy surged through her armor as she tore the radiant chains apart with a sound like screaming light. Enforcers were thrown back, shields shattering. Kale stared at her. "You chose," he breathed. Astra, 9, stood between him and the Council. "I chose the city," she said. "And my choice includes you." Solon's face hardened. "Then you stand with darkness." "No," Astra, 9, replied. "I stand with balance." The shadow below roared, pleased. Astra, 9, extended her hand to Kale. "Get up," she said. "We don't have much time." He took her hand, and in that moment, steel and shadow aligned, not as allies of trust, but as partners of necessity. Above them, alarms blared across Virex. The war had begun. Virex turned against its guardian overnight. Council banners flooded the skyline. Drones projected Astra 9's image across towers. Traitor unit. Shadow corrupted. Streets emptied. Doors sealed. The city she had protected learned to fear her name. Astra, 9 ran. Not from guilt, from calculation. Beneath the city, tunnels collapsed behind her as council strike units closed in. Kale kept pace, breath steady despite the blood drying on his sleeve. The shadow below them pulsed like a slow, immense heart. They'll never stop, Kale said. Solon wants control more than safety. They want certainty. Astra, 9 replied. I am no longer certain. A blast tore through the corridor ahead. Radiant barriers snapped into place. Enforcers advanced, staffs blazing with blinding light that burned the air. Target acquired, Solon's voice boomed through the chamber. By order of the council, terminate. Astra, 9 stepped forward. Blue energy flared along her armor, darker sigils threading through it, no longer foreign, now woven. She moved. The fight was surgical and brutal. Astra, 9 disarmed 2 enforcers in a blur, redirected a beam into the ceiling, and vaulted through falling stone. Kale countered with precise shadow. Binding, blinding, never lethal. They weren't here to win. They were here to reach the spine. Deep beneath Virex lay an ancient construct, half temple, half machine, built to cage the shadow. As they crossed its threshold, the air changed. Time felt thick. Sound dulled. The shadow spoke, not in words, but in truth. I am not hunger, it pressed into Astra 9's mind. I am consequence. Images surged, the council siphoning the shadow's power to stabilize reactors, sealing it tighter each year, feeding the city's glow with borrowed darkness. Balance broken. Pressure rising. Kale dropped to one knee. It's choosing you, he whispered. It won't listen to me anymore. Why? Astra, 9 asked. Because you are neither master nor prey, the shadow replied. Your choice. Solon entered the spine with a phalanx of enforcers, light screaming against shadow. Step away from it, he ordered. You don't understand what you're touching. I do, Astra, 9 said calmly. You chained consequence and called it peace. Solon raised his staff. Peace requires control. Astra, 9 advanced alone. The shadow flowed into her circuits like a river finding its bed. Not corruption. Calibration. She reached Solon before the staff fell. With one precise motion, she disarmed him and shattered the command core that bound the spine. Light and shadow collided, then settled. The city above went dark. For one terrifying breath. Then Virex relit, steadier than before.
Softer. Alive.
Solon stared, stunned. What did you do? I balanced the cost, Astra, 9 replied. No more borrowing. Sirens died. Drones powered down. The shadow receded, watchful, contained by consent rather than chains. Kale exhaled, a crooked smile forming. You just rewrote their world. Astra, 9 looked up through layers of stone, sensing the city breathe without pain. No, she said. I chose it. From above, distant thunder rolled, different now. Not a warning. A beginning.
The city woke up differently. Virex's lights returned in waves. Gentler, steadier, no longer fed by stolen darkness. Power grid stabilized. Sirens stayed silent. People stepped onto balconies, confused but alive. For the first time in decades, the city wasn't hungry. Deep beneath the streets, Astra, 9 stood in the quiet of the spine chamber. The shadow had withdrawn, not sealed, settled. Present, aware, restrained by agreement instead of force. Kale leaned against a broken pillar, exhausted. They'll come, he said softly. The council won't forgive this. They don't have to, Astra, 9 replied. Only the city does. Footsteps echoed. Council enforcers entered, but slower now, weapons lowered. At their center walked High Arbiter Solon, stripped of his authority, eyes heavy with something unfamiliar. Fear. You shut down our control, Solon said. You made us vulnerable. Astra, 9 met his gaze. You made the city dependent. Solon clenched his jaw. You chose darkness. No, she answered calmly. I chose balance. Screens across the chamber flickered to life, broadcasting live feeds from the city above. People unharmed, hospital stable, reactors quiet. Proof the council couldn't erase. A murmur spread among the enforcers. Solon looked away. "You are no longer a unit of the council," he said. "You will be erased from all records." Astra, 9 nodded. That was always the outcome. Kale stepped forward. "You'll exile your only guardian?" Solon's voice was bitter. "We'll survive without myths." The council turned and left. Silence followed. Astra, 9, felt something settle inside her core. Not loss. Freedom. Night fell again over Virex. On the city's highest tower, Astra, 9 stood once more at the edge, cape stirring the wind. Below, the city glowed, imperfect and alive. Kale approached from the shadows. "You could leave," he said. "Disappear. Let them forget." Astra, 9, watched the streets, the people moving without fear. "I wasn't built to vanish," she said. "I was built to protect." "And now," she replied, "I choose who I protect." Kale smiled faintly. "The shadow will listen to you." She turned toward him. "It listens to choices." In the distance, a flicker of imbalance stirred. Small, manageable. The world would never be perfect again. And that was the point. Astra, 9, stepped forward, leaping into the night. Silent, unseen, present. Not a weapon, not a servant. A guardian by choice. Far below, the city breathed. And somewhere between steel and shadow, a new legend began.